Hey, what's up, guys? A lot of you guys asked for me to do sets with players that are better than your average person in ranked. So I was like, I got hit up by this guy named Shazam with a bunch of A's, and he hit me up and he was like, hey, let's play. If you guys remember, I played him in ranked and I mentioned that I could probably beat him with Shazam because my Shazam is godlike. It's really not godlike, for the record, but yeah. So he's also a Nightwing main, and he asked if I want to do a first to 10 in Nightwing mirrors and then play a little bit after. So we did a first to 10 in Nightwing mirrors. We played Shazam mirrors also because, you know, I made the Shazam comment. And what's it called? There were some fun games. We played some games after that I didn't record, but yeah, since you guys wanted some more sets and stuff like that, I figured I would give you guys some. And this is Nightwing mirrors, which, you know, is not the best matchup or most exciting matchup, but it was fun to play and it was fun to watch because you guys get Nightwing footage. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. And yeah, it's some pretty awesome sets. Right there, I should have just whiff punished the Flying Grayson, but I missed it, which really sucks. And obviously, as you guys probably noticed already, he goes the Flying Grayson a lot. In neutral, when he's in staff like that, he seems uncomfortable, so he always goes the Flying Grayson, which I think is a bad idea. You could see near the, like, as the set goes on, I get really used to it. I think that's the biggest part about this set is you can see the way I adapt, because the set is very even in the beginning. It's like incredibly even. The first 4 games actually go him, me. So they ended up 2-2 after the first 2 games. So you can see how I adapt through the sets, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But the biggest thing is I recognize how he plays neutral with staff, a lot of the Flying Graysons, and I stopped letting him get away with a bunch of stuff that I was just not doing, because online I didn't mean to do down 2 scatter bombs. See, online you can do stuff like that sometimes, like he did back 2 and then he did 3-3 after. And the thing is, you should never let someone do that. There's like a 13 frame gap or something like that in that, and I'm also letting him flip kick too much. Instead of just blocking it like I'm doing, I should be actively trying to punish it, you know, with neutral jumps or something like that. But instead, I just keep trying to block it, and that's a mistake. When I played Joe, if you guys remember our sets, one of the biggest things that I did was always neutral jump 3 and punish flip kicks. I never ever let him get away with it, but in this set, I didn't like go to that for a long time. It took me way too long to try to start doing that, and I was just punishing, or I was just getting pressure after instead of punishing it, which I don't think is a good alternative. But either way, like I mentioned, you'll see how things change as the set goes on, and it becomes decidedly more in my favor as I changed up the way I play. Now you can tell in this game, this is like one of the biggest examples of how I want to play this matchup. I play it super slow, I work my way in, and then I just suffocate people. Either that or I can outzone them as long as I play carefully. But right here, it's just, you know, that crossed him up because he stood up. I just don't like the nuttiness. I don't like the nuttiness that this matchup can entail. A lot of crazy Flying Graysons and stuff like that. Like, I try to whip punish that. A lot of like full screen Flying Graysons and like craziness goes on in staff. So the main thing that I'm trying to do is eliminate that kind of thing and just play defensively. And that's the biggest way for me to shut down Nightwing. If you guys don't know how to shut down Nightwing, the biggest thing is if your character can outzone him, you should definitely be trying to do that. That's probably the largest thing. You should be trying to zone him, and when he's in staff, staying in the air if you have air control is your best option. His ability to shut down air stuff is pretty bad. And when he's in Eskrima, you have different options, obviously. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. You'll see how I handle staff in just a second here. I'll talk a little bit about that. But the main thing for me to handle staff in Eskrima, since Eskrima has slow normals, is I do down 1, which is plus, and I jump back wingdings a lot. Because, you know, he's a Nightwing player, so he's going to be mashing down 1 to try to, like, you know, mash through my pressure or something like that. So that'll beat what he's trying, and we just traded with jump 3s right there. But yeah, like, the biggest thing for me is to try to shut down what he's doing. And the reason this doesn't work right there is because I missed my punish on the down 2. That shouldn't have happened. I should have got the punish, but, you know, obviously sometimes you miss stuff. Especially online, it's really easy for us to miss stuff. We dropped quite a bit of stuff online. Yeah, like right there. But, you know, when you have to play online, sometimes it's the way it is. And, yeah, that's just the way it works. That was such a sick conversion. I'm giving myself props because that was really far. And my stand 1 didn't come out right there. That's why that didn't work. Probably another wake up? No, not this time. And that'll be the round. He might have tried to backdash there and just missed the input or something like that. If you guys don't know, I talked about how to get out of that pressure, and backdashing is the best way to do it. It's really easy to do. See, like I said, I should be punishing that flip kick, but I'm just letting him get away with it over and over and over. That's my fault. I thought he was going to jump back on wake up, so I did Flying Grayson. Right there, that was a Flying Grayson. The only time you'll see me Flying Grayson someone is when I think they're going to jump back or as an actual anti-air. Most of the time in my pressure when I'm plus and I know they're going to jump back or backdash, I'll do Flying Grayson to deal with it. That was back to flip kick, but I got just raw flip kick on accident because the buffer was too late. Yeah, he Flying Grayson's in, and I messed up. To deal with that Flying Grayson, I should have done down one and then just jump back, or down 1-2 or something like that. But I went for what's it called instead? I went for down one into something forward 2, I think, and yeah, that was a mistake. See that down one jump back like that, and I get the free chip. He jumps over, does Flying Grayson, and then I create all that space, right? So all I did to get out of the Flying Grayson was down 2 and then no more combos, so he couldn't get a clash, jump the other way. So now I created a full screen distance and he's stuck in staff. And since I can outzone him, he had to switch, and then that's why the game was over. So the thing about Flying Grayson and how to deal with Nightwing and staff is you just have to be aware of his options and how to deal with him. You can tell that I have a lot of Nightwing experience because of how I handle fighting staff Nightwing in neutral. And the biggest part about it is just being comfortable fighting the character. Once you understand how all of his setups work and everything, then that's probably the key. See, again, I shouldn't let him do that stand 3 after. That's really silly of me it's really silly for me to let him do that. I should be stuffing it every time. He shouldn't be able to get away with it. See, again, there's no reason for him to be able to do that. When Joe and I played, that was one of the biggest things, is I would make sure to never ever let him do something like that. But for some reason in these sets, I was letting him get away with it. And there's like a 13 or 14 frame gap right there, which I shouldn't be letting him do. That's probably the biggest thing. And he keeps hitting me with these back 2 flip kicks. I really wish he would just do back 2 meter burn flip kick, because he could actually get something out of it instead of just back 2 flip kick raw over and over. So there's the Flying Grayson. I tried to whiff punish right there, but it didn't work out. He actually interrupted it on accident there. There, I get the whiff punish that time. Like I mentioned, the biggest thing is that he does do a lot of Flying Graysons in neutral, and he wakes up a lot. Like, there it is again. He doesn't need to do that Flying Grayson, but he keeps doing it. So you can see how I handle it. I just play very patient. You have to understand how your opponent's playing. And then right there, I forward dash because I thought he was going to do another pound, but he did Flying Grayson again. After just mentioning it, I should have known. So after this, he does another staff spin, and that's so minus, but he just keeps swinging after. And I should have recognized the fact that he was going to do down 1 there and went for down 1-2 instead of down 1, because I'm only +3. But yeah, that was my fault. See, the first 2 games, like I meant, or the first 4 games were really close, like I mentioned. But that was supposed to be back to flip kick. But as I played, I learned a lot. You can see the way I change up I actively think about how he's playing and change up the way it is. So now it's 2-2. And since I've learned a lot from these first 4 games, you can see how I switch it up as we go into the next bit of games. Like I mentioned, it gets a little more decisively in my favor after the first few games. And he started with sweep there, and that actually beat my back 2 on the start. See, I actually interrupted it right there. It wasn't the right thing to interrupt with, but it worked out. See, he does down 1 into what's it called? Also, he did down 1 into wingdings. So yeah, he did the same thing, which I really like the use of. Lots of wake ups here. And I think the main problem there was that he could just bait my wake ups and stuff like that, but I should have been punishing his since he was in Eskrima. That was my problem, is I didn't punish his wake ups at all. And I have a big lead. What you'll notice about me in the Nightwing mirror is when I have a lead, I'm zoning all the time. Because as I'm doing ground sparks and throwing wingdings, I'm building a ton of meters. So that way when he actually does get in, I can stop him. Again, I don't know why I'm not interrupting that. That's like the biggest thing. That makes me really mad just watching it back. I should not be letting him do that. Yep, caught the backdash there. And this time I get free pressure. You see how apprehensive I am when he's on wake up now, just because I know he's going to do flip kick. And I'm still not neutral jumping it. In staff, it's a lot harder to neutral jump, but you can still do it. The same idea applies. So after that meter burn, I was going to do the bomb on the car to get out. But it didn't work out. So right there, I used my plus frames to get back in staff and poke him. And I was waiting for the Flying Grayson there. And when it didn't come, I was totally okay with that. Because, yeah, I knew it would come eventually. Right there, he should not have been able to down 1 me. Like, I did down 1, and then he down 1 me. And that's basically, he's swinging when I'm +3, and we have the same move. So there's no reason that he should have won right there, but he did. So I just got to deal with it. Right there, I get past the flip kick. I get some more pressure right there. Flying Grace into chest, get the jump back. It was so obvious he was gonna jump back right there. So that's just, you know, that's just the way I handle it. Like I said, I didn't even, like, as in the commentary, I was like, oh yeah, he's gonna jump back, because you could just tell by the way his character is and the way he's handling the pressure. Had he just ducked, he could have full combo punished my Flying Grayson, but he's too anxious to get out of the pressure, and instead of just dealing with it, he's trying to escape it. And the thing with Nightwing pressure, especially in staff, is that the harder you try to get out of it, a lot of times the worse it is. Like, your best option is block and wait until he's no longer plus, or just push block him. Spend the bar and just push block him. So, you know, those are your ways to pretty much deal with it. See, I did the jump through right there to deal with his, oh, what's it called? I did the jump through right there to deal with his wake up, and he actually didn't wake up. So, even though I did the jump through into wingdings and I lost my pressure, it was at least a little bit of adaptation to deal with his wake ups. Again, I have a huge lead right here, and I'm just being patient, doing a lot of zoning. And I don't feel like I have to work my way in. And the thing about these ground sparks is that the ground sparks and wingdings are building me all kinds of bar. So that way when he does find his way in, I have all this bar to work with. And if I hit him, then that's the round. So right there, I waited to see what he would do. That was a nice Flying Grayson. And I woke up with Eskrima Fury. Eskrima Fury was a really big risk right there, but I was so sure he was going to pressure me, because he never respected my wake up. So there was no reason not to. Yeah, you can't Flying Grayson at that distance. If he tries it, yeah, he's just gonna keep trying it. I mean, you have other ways in with Eskrima. There's no need to Flying Grayson in with staff at that range. Like, you can just walk in, or you can just like dash up and jump or something like that. Dash and do jump 1 or something. Both of those is a better option than trying to Flying Grayson in all the time. As you can see there, jump 2 completely whiffs on a crouching opponent, because why not? I tried to beat it with a jump right there. It didn't work. I'm just going to walk back. That was a bad punish, but it doesn't really matter that bad. I have such a life lead. That was to beat whatever wake up he tried. It didn't work out. But yeah, like I mentioned, I have a huge life lead here. You see how I'm just being patient. I'm not running into stuff. I'm just kind of like standing there taking chip, because I'm not really worried at this point. I have to make so many mistakes to lose that spending all my bar on zoning is a way better option than trying to go in, and that'll be that. So that's it for the first set. Tune in for the next part, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys again soon.